Hey everyone, Chuck here again. Wanted to take a step back again and go back to the idea of mission, vision, and values. We talked about it in some previous slides, but perhaps we haven't covered it, or you're coming into the videos here and you haven't captured that one. So let me jump over to a shared screen here and a whiteboard that we can write on the whiteboard, and then we should be good here. So I'm going to scribble down on the screen here the vision, the mission, and the values. So if you look up in the dictionary or anywhere else what a vision is, it's kind of that perception, and ideally we'd like it to be a shared perception of what the future looks like for us as a company or an organization. It's what we want to become. A mission is the goals we need to accomplish to achieve this shared vision or perception. And then the values is our guide, if you want to call it, on how we're going to operate, make decisions, our cultures, etc. So that allow us to accomplish our goals and this ultimate vision. If we wanted to look at it as something a little bit more concrete, the one that's always worked for me the best has been looking at the work of SpaceX and Elon Musk. Like him or not, doesn't matter. But his vision is he wants to do what? He wants to land and colonize the planet Mars. So he wants to be able to bring a group of people to the planet and set up a permanent colony there. So that's his vision: is people living on Mars and succeeding and building a society there in some fashion. The goals are the main steps that have to be achieved in accomplishing that. So number one, that was started out as a reusable rocket. And then number two, to be able to carry goods. So the reusable rocket, Dragon spaceship, tying up with the International Space Station to deliver goods and astronauts. And then step three, the next goal now is to come up with a heavy rocket that is capable of getting to Mars successfully. And then a fourth, of course, it's going to be flying to Mars, and then probably staffing, if that's a good word, is having some kind of manned flight to Mars, and then building a permanent station on Mars. So that's the main goals, to be able to land and colonize Mars. The values or the guide is the set of beliefs and behaviors that you're going to bring to the table that say, if we're going to accomplish this, we have to operate within these guides or barriers or whatever you want to call it. So we could take something as the golden rule, perhaps, if you want to call it that. The do what's right, do your best, treat others the way you want to be treated, and that becomes our ethical and business decision points or guidelines or boundaries, whatever you want to call it, that we have to operate within, that we believe are important to achieve the mission goals as well as this shared vision of the future. So I think it's important to really step back when we look at companies to understand this, because when we go to work for companies, and this is why it's important, we go to work for a company, we want to understand what's their purpose, why are they doing what they're doing, does it match up with my values, and as well as what they're looking to achieve in terms of more concrete goals. Do I fit in? Can I contribute to that? And then finally, on the values, do they look at the world, or they operate with the same ethical values as me or not? Could I see myself working for them? Would I be embarrassed to work for them? An example might be current trends in sustainability. A lot of employees are looking at companies that they're considering working with, and they're asking that question: hey, what are your values around circular economy, sustainability? What are you doing to be an ethical provider on the planet, and those kinds of things? So impact wise, it impacts employees. Customers will look at companies and decide whether they want to work with them based on their vision for sustainability. So it's important that we articulate what that shared perception is, what are the major milestones that get there, aka the mission, as well as the values that we're going to operate by. And if we do that, then the argument is we're going to be successful and effective in accomplishing our goals.